Resume recording. Awesome. Once you've had those 3 breaths, you can exhale, release, and twist to the right. Ground the right fingertips behind you. Press the left hand and the right knee into each other, activating the foundation of the pose. As you inhale, lift and lengthen. As you exhale, deepen your twist. Pressing out through the hands to roll the shoulders together down and into the back body. Have one more big breath. Noticing what you're doing in your neck and returning it to center. With an exhale, release. Return to center and switch out the crossing of the legs. So it's a regular crossing of the legs, but in close to the knees. So the weight of the top shin is crushing and breaking up the hardness in the bottom calf. And then switching out the crossing of the fingers. Bring the palms back onto the top of the head. Inhale, lift and lengthen through the crown. Exhale, soften the shoulders together and down. Inhale to prepare for Kapalabhati. Return to your normal breath. Again, just observing the effects of the pranayama on the energy in the body. And then inhale, stretch the palms up. Drop the chin to the chest and cinch the low ribs and the hip bones towards each other to engage the core. Stretch through the palms to stretch the muscles between the ribs. Keep that as you inhale and lift your gaze. Pull the pinky fingers and the thumbs down towards your face. Soften the shoulders away from the ears. Neutralize your head and gaze forward. 3 more breaths. Each inhale, drawing in and up from the floor to the core to the crown. Belly towards the spine and elbows hug in. Each exhale, pinkies and thumbs, shoulders and hips. Draw down towards the floor. With your next exhale, release and twist to the left. Rounding the left fingertips behind you. Press the right hand and the left knee into each other. They answer and call in response to activate the foundation. From the base of the spine, inhale, lift straight up. And as you exhale, deepen your twist. Roll the shoulders together on the back. Notice what is happening in your neck. Have one more deep, long breath. And exhale, release. We'll come onto hands and knees. Spread your fingers wide. Ground the knees under the hips. Gently draw the abdomen towards the spine. Even as you inhale, arch the back, gaze up. Exhale, press down and curl the spine to the ceiling. Continue at your own pace. Sync the motions of the body with the breath. Allow the breath to deepen the motions of the body. Allowing this to bring you fully and completely into the present moment. Move in any way that feels good to you within the confines of the shapes. Allowing the mind to connect and receive the wisdom of the body, which is of the utmost importance that you listen to your body, since we're doing this over the internet and you don't have a teacher fully present. When you are ready, you can tuck your toes, lift your hips high, and press back to downward facing dog. Make sure the feet are as wide as the hips. Outer edge of the feet turned parallel with outer edge of the mat. As you inhale, lift and spread the toes. Lift the abdomen towards the spine and lift the hips high. As you exhale, press the thigh bones up and back to where the wall meets the ceiling. Feel that action lengthen your lower back as you press from the back of the knees down through the heels, from the back of the knees lifting up to the sits bones. Have 3 more deep, long breaths. Let the head hang heavy. And with an inhale, flow forward into your plank pose. Finding that lift from the underside of the pose. And then extension from the tailbone through the heels and from the tailbone through the crown. The hips and the low ridge cinch together and the rib cage of the back body lifts to meet the shoulder blade. One more big inhale here. And exhale, lower the knees, the chest, and the chin. Press the tops of the feet down. And inhale, lift the heart. Roll the shoulders back. Everything on the ground presses firmly down into the ground to lift the heart and crown. From the tailbone, still extending down through the heels, still drawing the abdomen towards the spine. Notice if you're crunching into one part of your neck and drop the chin down towards the chest a little bit. Have one more big breath. And exhale, press back, seat to heels, child's pose. Allow the weight of the hips to settle energetically towards the heels. And from that grounding, inhale and breathe, lengthen space into each vertebrae in the spine. Walk the fingertips forward. Exhale, sink more deeply into the stretch. With an inhale, lift the abdomen and walk the hands to the right. Place the abdomen down on the right thigh as you widen the left hip to the left. And stretch both side bodies and sides of the neck long. Allowing the hardness of the thigh bone to soften the abdominal muscles, to begin to stimulate and massage the organs. Have one more big breath. And inhale back to center. Exhale, pause here. Inhale, lift the abdomen and walk the hands over to the right, no, left. Widening the right hip to the right. Placing the abdomen down on that left thigh. Breathe length and space into both side bodies and sides of the neck. And as you exhale completely, sink more deeply into the stretch, softening the abdomen and stimulating the organs. One more big breath. And inhale to center. Exhale. Inhale, rise, hands and knees, arch the back, gaze up. Exhale, tuck the toes, lift the hips high. Make that V shape with your body. As you inhale, lifting and spreading the fingers and toes, feel how that begins to draw the energy in and up from the floor to the core. Lift the abdomen towards the spine. Lift the hips high. As you exhale, press the thigh bones up and back to where the wall meets the ceiling. And the low ribs lift up and back to the thigh bones as well. Let your head hang heavy. Have 3 more deep, long breaths. And then with an inhale, begin to walk the feet forward to meet the hands. Coming into a standing forward bend at the front of your mat. Feel free to bend the knees if you'd like. Let the abdomen come towards the thighs. Let the head hang heavy. Shake it out, yes. And no. Grab opposite elbows and sway. Move in any way that feels good to you to release tension from the back, the shoulders, and the neck. Letting it all drain out through the crown of the head. With an inhale, return to center. And exhale, release the arms down. With your next inhale, begin to roll the spine up. Pelvis spins around the femur bones. Vertebrae stack. Shoulders and then the head are the last things to rise. Hi. Okay. Taking a minute to just connect with the alignment in the legs that activates the core. Outer edge of the feet parallel with outer edge of the mat. Lift and spread your toes. Feel how that lift and pressing down through the big toe mound lifts the arch. That draws the energy all the way up the inner leg, inner groin, to the pelvic floor, where we begin to lift our abdomen. So as we lift and spread the toes, we take the thigh bones back, so the center of the hips come over the knees and ankles. As we keep the thigh bones back, draw the center of the buttocks into the midline to root the tailbone down. Lower the toes to the floor without losing any of that engagement in the legs. As the tailbone roots down, drawing the frontal hip bones towards the spine to lift the abdomen in and up, becoming super compact and stable and strong at the center of your body. From that grounding in the lower body, we get the leverage to lift and lengthen through the spine. We'll do 3 sun sal A, 3 sun sal B. Inhale, reach the arms up and overhead. Exhale, fold forward over the legs. Inhale, gaze forward, lengthen the spine. Exhale, ground the palms, step or jump back to plank pose and pause. Find that lift from the underside of the pose, lifting the abdomen and the back of the ribs to meet the shoulder blades. Find that extension through the heels and crown. Roll the shoulders down the back and keep this one long line of energy through the body as you lower, bending the elbows to 90 degrees. Feel free to use the knees to support yourself. Keeping the abdomen drawn towards the spine as you inhale and lift. Upward facing dog, exhale. Draw the belly button towards the spine to lift the hips and press back. Downward facing dog. Return to the breath. As you inhale, draw the energy in and up from the floor to the core. As you exhale, extend out through the 4 corners of the hands, the feet, the crown of the head. Have one more big breath. And with an inhale, gaze forward. Step or jump the feet to meet the hands. Exhale, fold deeply into the legs. Inhale, reach the arms up and overhead, come to stand. Exhale, release the arms down by your sides. Checking back in with your foundation, your alignment in the hips that lets you engage the abdomen. And inhale, reach the arms up and overhead. Exhale, fold deeply over the legs. Inhale, gaze forward, lengthen the spine. Exhale, ground the palms, step or jump back to plank and find that lift from the underside, extension through the heels and the crowns. Maintain that as you bend the elbows back to 90 degrees. Inhale, lift the heart, roll the shoulders back. Exhale, lift the hips. Downward facing dog, return to your breath. As you inhale, lift and spread the toes, lift the abdomen and the hips. As you exhale, thigh bones back, heels towards the floor. Low ribs up and back to the thigh bones. Have one more deep, long breath. John, you can walk through the side of the room. Okay. With an inhale, gaze forward, step or jump the feet to meet the hands. Exhale, fold deeply into the legs. Inhale, reach the arms up and overhead, come to stand. Exhale, release the arms down by your sides. One more time. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, fold deeply. Inhale, gaze forward, get length. Exhale, ground the palms, step or jump back and lower. Inhale, lift the heart, roll the shoulders back. Exhale, abdomen in and up to lift the hips. Return to the breath. Allowing the breath to be deep and long. To fill the body from the inside out like a balloon. And as you exhale completely, see what you can release and let go of. One more big breath here. And inhale, gaze forward. Step or jump the feet to meet the hands. Buddha, you gotta move. Inhale, gaze forward, get length. Exhale, ground the palms. No, exhale, fold deeply. Inhale, reach the arms up and overhead. Exhale, release the arms down by your sides. Inhale, arms reach up, drop the seat, chair pose. Sticking your booty out to get low. Rooting the tailbone down to lift the frontal hip bones. Cinch the low ribs and the hip bones towards each other. With your next exhale, fold forward over the legs. Inhale, gaze forward, lengthen the spine. Exhale, ground the palms, step or jump back to plank pose and lower. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, lift the hips. Inhale, lift the right leg high. Lift from the inner thigh and the center of the heel. Press that left thigh bone back to create the balance and evenness in the pelvis. Inhale, lift the abdomen. Exhale, right knee, right tricep. Inhale, lift the leg high. Exhale, right knee, left tricep. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, bring the knee to the nose. Inhale, lift your leg high. Exhale, step it through between the hands. Inhale, rise, warrior one. Drawing the legs energetically towards each other to root the tailbone down, to lift the frontal hip bones. One more big breath. And exhale, cartwheel the hands to the mat, step back and lower. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, lift the hips. Inhale, the left leg high. Lift from the inner thigh and the center of the heel. Press the right thigh bone back. Inhale, lift the abdomen. And exhale, extend in all directions. With your next exhale, left knee, left tricep. Inhale, lift it high. Exhale, left knee, right tricep. Inhale, lift it high. Exhale, the knee to the nose. Inhale, extend back up. Exhale, step through between the hands. Inhale, rise, warrior one at the top of the breath. Drawing your legs energetically towards each other to get the hips to face forward. The tailbone roots down as the frontal hip bones lift in towards the spine. Have one more big breath. And exhale, ground the palms, step back. Move through a vinyasa or come to downward facing dog. Remembering that this is your time on the mat, your practice, and you're always welcome to skip the vinyasas if you've had enough of them. Wherever you find yourself, cultivate that balance and evenness in the breath that brings balance and evenness into the heart rate and the speed of the thoughts through the mind. With your next inhale, gaze forward, step or jump the feet to meet the hands, and exhale, fold deeply into the legs. Inhale, arms reach up, drop the seat, chair pose. Exhale, stand tall, Tadasana, mountain pose. Again, inhale, arms reach up, drop the seat. Sticking the booty out to get low, thigh bones back. Center of the buttocks into the midline to root down and lift the frontal hip bones. Lift through the fingertips and the crown of the head as you soften the shoulders down the back and the low ribs down the front. With your next exhale, fold deeply. Inhale, gaze forward, lengthen. Exhale, ground the palms, step or jump back. Moving through a vinyasa or coming to down dog if that feels more appropriate for you in this moment. Meeting in downward facing dog, inhale, lift the right leg high. Exhale, right knee, right tricep. Inhale, lift it high. Exhale, right knee, left tricep. Inhale, lift it high. Exhale, knee to the nose. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, step through. Inhale, warrior one at the top of the breath. Exhale, interlace the hands behind your back. With an inhale, lift the abdomen and the heart. Exhale, fold forward, hinging at the hips. Bowing warrior. Looking back at the hips and seeing what adjustments you can make to bring balance and evenness. Breathe, lengthen space into the spine. Cinch the low ribs and the hip bones towards each other. With your next exhale, release, round the palms, step back. Move through a vinyasa or come to downward facing dog. With an inhale, lift your left leg high. Exhale, left knee, left tricep. Inhale, lift it high. Exhale, left knee, right tricep. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, the knee to the nose. Inhale, up. Exhale, step through. Inhale, rise, warrior one. Exhale, switch out the crossing of the fingers behind the back. Inhale, lift the abdomen and the sternum. Exhale, fold forward, hinging at the hips. Gazing back and inner rotating the back thigh as you root the front hip towards the back heel. Cinch the low ribs and the hip bones towards each other. Allow the arms to come overhead. One more big breath. And exhale, release, ground the palms, step back. Move through a vinyasa. Come to down dog or to child's pose. Wherever you are working, return to the breath. Finding that pulsation of pressing down to lift up, of drawing the energy in and up to then extend and shine it back out. With an inhale, gaze forward, step or jump the feet to meet the hands. Exhale, fold deeply into the legs. Inhale, drop the seat, arms reach up, chair pose. Exhale, stand tall, Tadasana, mountain pose. One more time. Inhale, arms reach up, drop the seat. Booty out to get low. Tailbone down to lift up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, gaze forward, lengthen. Exhale, ground the palms, step or jump back. Move through a vinyasa or come to downward facing dog. Keeping the abdomen engaged as you work, no matter what. Inhale, the right leg high. Exhale, right knee, right tricep. Inhale, lift it high. Exhale, right knee, left tricep. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, the knee to the nose. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, step through between the hands and inhale, rise, warrior one. Exhale, interlace the hands behind your back. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, fold forward on the inside edge of that front knee. Inhale, rise and open to the side. Warrior two. Finding that deep bend in the front knee. Back thigh inner rotates slightly and both thigh bones press back so the tailbone roots down right between the sits bones. From pressing through the back heel, lift the frontal hip bone. One more big breath. And exhale, cartwheel the hands to the mat. Step back. Move through a vinyasa or come to downward facing dog, your choice. Inhale the left leg high. Exhale, left knee, left tricep. Inhale, lift it high. Exhale, left knee, right tricep. Inhale, lift it high. Exhale, the knee to the nose. Inhale, lift it high. Exhale, step through. Inhale, rise, warrior one. Exhale, switch out the crossing of the hands behind the back. Inhale, lift the sternum and the abdomen. Exhale, fold forward, hinging at the hips. Next inhale, rise up. Open to the side, warrior two. Finding that deep bend in your front knee, that inner rotation of the back thigh that brings the thigh bone into the hip socket. Press both thigh bones back to fully open the hips. Let the tailbone root down. Have one more big breath where you lift the frontal hip bone away from the thigh bone. And exhale, cartwheel your hands to the mat. Step back. Move through a vinyasa or come to downward dog or child's pose. Wherever you are working, feel the heat that is being generated in the body through the practice. Heat is the element of the third chakra. We can use it to burn through the habits and patterns that aren't serving us. Breathe it into those places that feel tight and sore and stuck. As you exhale, see what you can release. One more big breath here. And with an inhale, gaze forward. Step or jump the feet, meet the hands. Exhale, fold deeply over the legs. Inhale, arms reach up, drop the seat, chair pose. Exhale, stand tall, Tadasana, mountain pose. Good. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Ground the palms and prepare for a crow pose practice. So we're taking a slight bend in the elbows, bringing the knees onto the upper arms. You have to gaze forward. The head acts as a counterweight to the pelvis. Hugging the legs together as you lift the abdomen. Maybe lift 1 foot at a time. As long as you feel your muscles working, you are getting stronger. Have 3 deep, long breaths. And with an exhale, step or jump back. Chaturanga. Inhale, lift the heart or come to downward facing dog. Return to your breath. With an inhale, lift the right leg high. Exhale, step it through between the hands. This time, keeping the back heel lifted. Inhale, stretch the body forward. One long line of energy through the whole body. The back thigh bone and the abdomen lift towards the spine as you stretch long in the back body plane. Have one more big breath here. Exhale, bend the back knee and inhale, fly forward, warrior 3. Looking for that same balance and evenness in the pelvis. Lifting from the inner thigh in the center of the heel. Stretch through the back body, one more big breath. And exhale, fold forward. Hinging at the hips, continuing to lift that back leg high. Press out through both heels. Press both thigh bones back in their respective directions. Lift the abdomen and lengthen. Exhale, fold more deeply. 3 breaths. And with an exhale, land with that foot behind you. Inhale, rise, high lunge. Hugging the legs towards each other. Root the tailbone down. Lift abdomen, heart. Lean back, 3 breaths. And exhale, release. Ground your palms, step back. Move through a vinyasa or come to down dog or child's pose. Inhale the left leg high. Exhale, step it through. Inhale, stretch forward. One long line of energy through the body. The abdomen is like almost resting on the thigh, but then you pull it back. Have one more big breath. Exhale, bend the back knee. Inhale, fly forward, warrior 3. Pressing out through both heels. Pressing the standing thigh bone back. Lifting the inner thigh in the center of the back heel. Abdomen lifts, stretch the back body long. One more breath. And exhale, release the hands. Continue to lift the back leg. Continue to press through both heels. Both thigh bones back. Lift from the inner thigh in the center of the heel as you gaze forward. Lift the abdomen. As you exhale, fold more deeply. 3 breaths. With an exhale, release back into a high lunge. Hugging the legs energetically towards each other. Root the tailbone down. Lift the abdomen and the heart. Lean gently back. 3 breaths. And exhale, release. Ground the palms, step back. Move through a vinyasa or come to downward facing dog. Maybe there's a child's pose. Return to your breath. What time is it? Okay. We'll meet in down dog. With an inhale, gaze forward, step or jump the feet to meet the hands. Exhale, fold deeply over the legs. Inhale, reach the arms up and overhead, come to stand. Exhale, release the arms down by your sides. Inhale, arms reach up, drop the seat. Exhale the hands to the heart and twist to the right. Left elbows coming outside the right knee. The left knee and hip have to draw back. Left inner thigh widens to the left to stabilize the pelvis. Root the tailbone down. Lift the frontal hip bones. Press through the palms to roll the shoulders back and turn, lifting the heart to meet the thumbs. Have one more big breath here. And shifting the weight to the right foot, gaze down. Exhale, step the left leg back. Coming into a twisted lunge. Same action, lifting the back thigh bone and the abdomen. Pressing out through the palms to roll the shoulders back. Have 3 more deep, long breaths here. With an inhale, you can bring it back to center. Ground the left hand inside the right foot and flip it over into side plank. You can take any variation of side plank, just hopping the foot forward for support. You could stack the foot. You could do tree pose or even grab the big toe. Pressing down to lift up, stacking the abdomen of the vertebrae in the back body. 3 breaths. And with an exhale, release. Move through a vinyasa or come to down dog or child's pose. Your choice. Good work. We'll meet back in down dog. With an inhale, gaze forward, step or jump the feet to meet the hands. Exhale, fold deeply. Inhale, drop your arms, reach up, come to stand. Exhale, release the arms down by your sides. Good, one more side. Inhale, arms reach up, drop the seat. Exhale, the hands to the heart and twist to the left. Right elbow coming outside the left knee. Right knee and hip drop back. Right inner thigh widens to the right to stabilize the pelvis. Root the tailbone down and lift the frontal hip bones as you turn. Press out through the palms to roll the shoulders back. One more deep, long breath. Shift the gaze down. Shift the weight onto the left foot and step the right leg back. Coming into that twisted lunge on the left side. Lift the back thigh bone and the abdomen. Press out through the palms to roll the shoulders back. Cinch the hip bones and the low ribs together. 3 breaths. Inhale to center. Exhale, ground the right hand inside the left foot. Inhale, flip it over to whatever variation you took on the other side. Pressing down with the foundation to lift the hips. Keeping the abdomen back to stack the vertebrae. Have 3 deep, long breaths. And exhale, release. Ground the palms. Move through a vinyasa or come to downward facing dog or child's pose. Your choice. Wherever you are, return to the breath. Notice the quality of the breath in this moment. Notice if the chest feels tight or open, if the breath is short or long, if the inhales or the exhales bear more weight. Good. And then with an inhale, we will rise onto our knees or lower onto our knees, wherever you're at. We're gonna do a variation of camel pose, really working on getting the engagement and the length of the side bodies at the core. So we're standing on the knees, the knees as wide as the hips, the heels extended straight back. We're gonna root the tailbone down and draw the center of the buttocks into the midline to keep the hips over the knees. Interlace your hands behind your back. Inhale, lift the abdomen in and up and lift the sternum. Exhale, begin to lean into the back body. Inhale, lift the gaze, lift the sternum. Exhale, draw the arms away from the back. You can lower the head, but you don't want to completely collapse in the neck. Have 3 more deep, long breaths. And with an inhale, rise. Sit back on the heels or between the heels if that's accessible. If that causes discomfort in the knees, then just choose a different resting position. But I like Virasana because the pelvis can really ground down. And you can close your eyes and feel and find that lightness that comes into the body when the bones and joints stack. Have 3 more deep, long breaths. With an inhale, rise back onto your knees. Extend the heels straight back, knees as wide as the hips. Root the tailbone down and draw the center of the buttocks into the midline. Switch out the crossing of the hands behind your back. And with an inhale, lift the abdomen and the sternum. Exhale, draw the arms away from your back body. Inhale, lift the sternum and the gaze. Exhale, continue to draw the arms away. Have 3 breaths. It's harder to support yourself than to collapse onto the hands. And with an inhale, rise. One more time, sitting back between the heels, sitting on the heels, or choosing another comfortable seat, but allowing the pelvis to be heavy. And inhale, lift and lengthen through the heart, the crown, the tips of the ears. 3 breaths. Good. So we have done the vigorous part of the practice. We're gonna wind down a little bit. We're gonna do some forward folding stuff and then a shoulder stand practice. So you can come to seated, and let's start with the soles of the feet together. Press all 10 toes together and feel the arch of the foot open like a little cup. Scoot in towards the heels any amount. And as you're pressing the feet together, you're pressing the knees away from each other to ground more and more of the back of the leg and thigh down. As the feet press together, the knees press away from each other. The sits bones press down, and we're lifting and lengthening through the crown. If you feel that your pelvis is tilted back here, your work lies in just getting the lift through the spine so that you can, if you would like, exhale and fold, hinging at the hips, drawing the heart forward and down, out past the feet. Keeping the neck in line with the spine, although it does begin to create a uniform curve. Have 5 deep, long breaths. With an inhale, rise. Keep that right foot drawn in towards the groin and extend the left heel forward. Ground the fingertips by the hips and lift the abdomen. Give yourself a little micro twist so the torso faces over that straight left leg. With an exhale again, hinging at the hips, drawing the heart out towards the foot. Maybe you can grab onto your ankle, the outside edge of your foot. Maybe you can grab the right wrist with the left hand behind your foot. But either way, the left side of the abdomen has to lift up and draw back as the right side draws forward and down. Using the awareness to cultivate balance. Have 5 deep, long breaths. And then with an inhale, rise. We're gonna take this right knee out to the side. So we're opening the hips more in the side body plane. Grounding or pressing firmly down through that right outer hip and reaching the left fingertips out towards the left ankle. Inhale, lift the right arm up and over. Exhale, stretch the body long. So we don't wanna just collapse. We wanna keep pressing through the outer right hip, keep stretching the side bodies long, keep the abdomen drawn back and turning up and back to the right as we stretch. Have 5 deep, long breaths. Feel what you're doing in your neck. Good. With an inhale, rise. We'll bring the soles of the feet back together. This time, pressing the pinky toe edge of the foot together and opening the rest of the foot like a book. Ground the fingertips by your hips and scoot in any amount towards the heels. As the pinky toes press together, the big toes and the knees draw away from each other. Still grounding through both sits bones to lift and lengthen through the crown of the head and the tips of the ears. You are welcome to stay here or to again fold forward, hinging at the hips. Notice if one hip is tighter than the other, and send the breath there, consciously asking it to soften. Notice if one foot is more dexterous and listens better than the other. And you want to send your mental messages to the side of the body that is less responsive. So through this whole practice, we're just building communication pathways in the brain. The more you have, the more creative you can be in life. With an inhale, rise. Keep that left foot drawn in, and we're gonna go extend the right leg out and keep the hips wide to start. So we're gonna go in reverse. Ground the outer left hip down firmly and stretch the right fingertips out by the right ankle. Pressing down to lift up through the left arm, and leaning up and over. Trying not to just totally collapse, but to scan the body and make adjustments to create more space. Rounding down through the left outer hip. Abdomen draws back and turns up to the left. Have 5 breaths. With an inhale, rise. Turn to face your straight right leg. Ground your fingertips by your hips. Inhale, lift the abdomen and give yourself that little micro twist so the torso faces over the right leg as you exhale and fold forward. Drawing the heart out towards the foot. You can hold onto your shin, your foot, or eventually grabbing the right wrist with the left hand behind the foot. Rooting down through the sits bones. Draw the right side of the abdomen up and back as you draw the left side forward and down. Cultivate balance from within for 5 breaths. Inhale, rise. Exhale, extend both legs forward. Flex the toes up towards the ceiling. Press the whole midline of both legs firmly down. Ground the fingertips by the hips to lift the chest. And if your pelvis is tilted back here, your work is simply to lift from the base of the spine up. If you found that lift, exhale and fold forward. 10 breaths. Forward folds. Take our energy and awareness down and in. So they have a calming effect on the nervous system and the mind. They're great to do before bed, and they're great to do for long holds if you're feeling anxious. Once you've had 10 breaths with an inhale, rise. We're gonna come to lay on our backs and prepare for a shoulder stand practice. I generally don't teach inversions in online classes because I want to keep you all safe. I think I was just thinking I'm gonna make a video that shows you all different ways to use all different props to really support your neck and shoulder stand. I don't have time to do that right now. So I'm gonna be really explicit about the foundation, about not turning your head when you're in shoulder stand because there's weight bearing on the shoulders and neck. I would also say if you have a neck injury, you can just go and put your legs up the wall to receive the benefits of the inversion. But shoulder stand is considered the mother of all yoga poses, and it milks the lymph glands, which fight sickness and infection in the body. So at this time, it seems like a really important pose to include. So I'm gonna guide you through it, showing you so you can look at me, and then I'm gonna guide you through it again with you laying down so that you're very clear about the safety of the neck in this pose. You'll start with the feet grounded, knees bent, pressing the back of the head and the shoulders firmly into the mat. There should be a curve in the cervical spine that you can fit your hand under. And that should pretty much be maintained. You don't want to turn your head while you're coming up into the pose. You're going to grab the outer edge of the mat or press into the floor by your hips to lift the legs and kick the feet overhead. If the feet can touch the floor behind your head, you can interlace the hands and roll the shoulders under. This is cloud pose. There's a lift in the thigh bones here that lengthens the lower back. And you're welcome to stay here or to bring the hands onto the back to support you and lift the legs up. Now I'm going to come out of it and I'm going to talk you through it again. Lay on your back. Press the back of the head and shoulders firmly into the mat. Ground your fingertips by your hips or grab onto the outer edge of the mat by the hips and press down or pull out to roll the feet to touch the ground behind your head. If the feet don't touch the ground, you just want to wiggle your elbows in and bring your hands to support your lower back right away. If they do touch the ground, you can interlace your hands and use that as leverage to roll the shoulders under. The closer the shoulders are together, the more the elbows can get under and support you. Remember, you're welcome to stay here in plow pose, pressing down through the back of the head and shoulders to lift the chin away from the chest so you have room to breathe, or to bend the elbows and bring the hands onto the back, palms, the fingertips facing up. You want to get your hands down towards the floor, which is up on your back as much as possible, and bring the elbows in as close as possible. Then lift one leg at a time, extending them up towards the ceiling. Press up through the heels here, and then through the balls of the feet. We're looking for the same stacking of the bones and joints that we've been practicing all day. So it's not just like sticking your butt out and resting your hands on your booty, but it's drawing the center of the buttocks into the midline to lift the whole body up. If this is like one of your first times doing this pose, try to have 5 to 10 breaths. If you are a seasoned practitioner, try to have 10 to 20 breaths. Wherever you are working, I'm gonna instruct you on how to get out of the pose so you don't feel stuck. So if you are happy and breathing, please stay as long as you would like. Whenever you are ready to come out of the pose, dropping the feet down behind your head, release the hands. You can have a few breaths again in cow pose. You can also play with bending the knees in by the ears for ear to knee pose or knee to ear pose, Kartapidasana. When you are ready to, just begin to roll out vertebrae by vertebrae. When the legs are perpendicular to the floor, engage the core as you lower them all the way down. And if you're still up in your shoulder stand, that's totally great. Have a few more deep, long breaths. and then join us. So if you feel like your body has done all the things it needs to do, you're welcome to be in Shavasana. If you are feeling like your body is requiring another pose, feel free to take it. Maybe you want to do a fish pose, rising onto the forearms, lifting the chest and lowering the head to the mat. Have 5 to 10 breaths. Maybe it would feel good for you to take a gentle twist. Or to take a happy baby before we close out. Remembering more than ever that this time on your mat is for you to connect with and listen to your body. When you are ready, relax, release, and open into Shavasana. Final relaxation. Return the awareness to the breath and allow it to be so deep and so long that it touches down into the bottoms of the feet and the tips of the toes. And as you exhale completely, allow any residual tension to leave the body with the breath through the fingertips. So through this practice of yoga in general, Shavasana in particular, the body is emptied out. We release fear, judgment, limitation, and make space for spontaneous, creative response.
Take this moment to savor any quiet, peace, or calm that has come into the body or mind through the practice today. And then begin to intentionally deepen your inhales, the aspect of the breath that enlivens and invigorates. Begin to wiggle the fingers and toes. Gently sway the head from side to side. With an inhale, reach your arms up and overhead. Give yourself a big stretch from fingertips to tippy toes. Exhale here. Inhale, draw the knees into the chest. And exhale, roll onto the right side body. Pausing for a moment. Using that right arm as a pillow. Gathering your bearings. As you transition from the meditative rest of Shavasana back into everyday life. When you are ready, press down with the palms to lift up. Return to a comfortable seated position. Keep your eyes closed for just another moment. Check back in with the quality of your breath. Notice where in the body you're still holding tension, where some things may have shifted, where there is new awareness. Observe the speed of the thoughts through the mind in this moment. And then return the awareness to anchor on the breath. We will seal our collective efforts with a single Om. Allow the low body to be heavy and ground you down. Inhale, lift and lengthen through the crown and the tips of the ears. Exhale, roll the shoulders together and down the back. Inhale, down into the bottoms of the feet and the tips of the toes to prepare. And exhale, lean into the back body. Bring the hands to the heart and bow the head in gratitude for the tools of this practice that help us to
remain connected to our higher selves and the collective well-being of all, despite the social distancing. Thank you guys for being a part of this. Have a great rest of your day. Feel free to come at me with feedback, specifically technologically, because I'm not really good at that. Thank you. And also about the class, whatever comes up for you, please feel free to share, and I'll keep you posted about the next few things that I'll be doing. Thank you.